Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on steps in refurbishment. I trust you would have already seen the two videos, which are refurbishment and redecoration part 1 and 2, and now you're looking at steps in refurbishment. If not, at least the first video should be seen before this so that you can follow this video well. So let's look at refurbishment program. So and the steps in that. So quick recap of a few things. Renovation is basically the process of renewing and updating a hotel property. We are talking hotels here, and offset the ravages of use and modify spaces to meet the changing markets. Markets are changing, clientele are changing, technology is changing, there's a lot of wear and tear, and that's why renovation happens. All right. So renovation is the big term which has a lot of things under it. Why renovate? Again, as I said, wear and tear, outdated, or it's not up to speed, up to date, change in the market, clientele, and a lot of obsolescence. Technology is changing, so things which are earlier are now obsolete, functional, and stylistic obsolescence. So the renovation is the big umbrella which has refurbishing, redecoration, restoration, and remodeling. Now we are only looking at refurbishment and its steps. So refurbishment or refurbishing is the process which entails renovating a property to give it a fresh look. It typically includes changing the furniture, soft furnishings, and fittings. All right, so you're sprucing up the look and giving it a completely fresh look by refurbishing that particular property or room or the area. All right, so refurbishing is renovating by replacing or giving a fresh look to the furniture, fittings, and soft furnishings. Refurbishment is carried out typically, of course, this is every 5 to 7 years. It could be 4 years, depending on the wear and tear, depending on the budget, depending on the market conditions, depending on the change in clientele or how you want to position your hotel. But it's usually carried typically between 4 to 7 years or 5 to 7 years. Now let's look at steps in refurbishment program. These steps we've just sort of seen as a slide in the earlier video. We'll quickly look at each point briefly, but each point. So first step is evaluation or the physical inspection. Now, what do you mean by that? You first evaluate, is this refurbishment program worth taking your time, effort, and money? Is it really required? Is it necessary? So that's where you have a team where you actually decide and look at all the pros and cons and the requirement and its impact on the bottom line. So authorized person in housekeeping, usually the executive housekeeper, prepares a worksheet and then decides whether this is required or not. Depending on how important it is, of course, it's undertaken with priority, and then a snag list is made. All right, snag list is made at the beginning as well as the end for points which require rectification. So a worksheet which is prepared on the basis of physical inspection of the area, which gives the details of the area and the estimated costs of renovation, is known as a snag list. After evaluation, once you're quite sure that you have to or you need to renovate this place or refurbish this place, you also allocate time. Like every goal, it has to be smart, specific, it has to have a target of time, it has to be measurable and all that. So allocation of time, you need to have, it's like a mini project. So you need to have a start date and an end date, because based on that, you have other things to look after. Typically, a hotel will take a refurbishment program when their business will not be affected much. So do you take it in peak time? No. You try to look at a very, very valley period or shoulder period, or when occupancies are typically very low. All right. And then refurbishment program is carried. So you reduce the expenses in a way by offsetting what you would lose as business because of refurbishment, to a minimum. So refurbishment program should be taken when the occupancy is low so that you don't lose out on business. Then we come to budgeting. Of course, you've measured it, you have a time frame, you also need a budget. Whatever the budget allocation is, or as a special allocation on over and above your annual budget, this has to be very clear. Also remember, the costs always have a tendency to go up by 10% here and there. So make sure you plan really well, budget really tight, and implement it with as much discipline as possible. An action plan for the expenditure is very important so we can control it, and the entire refurbishment program is within budget. So like time is money, money also is money, of course. So money is important, and it's important that you stick to the money. Thematic choice. Now every hotel has a particular theme or positioning or the target clientele or the market that it is in. So the refurbishment program, is it following the set theme already, the original theme, or are we changing it for that floor or for that set of rooms, etc.? So we are looking at that thematic choice. If the theme is changed, we need to see why, how, what is the new theme, which is, will it go with the earlier theme in the sense that some rooms still may be with the earlier one. So we have to look at the feasibility. We have to also, when you change the entire theme, the cost factor goes up. So you have to look at the financial burden of it and whether it's in your budget and it's feasible financially as well. Study of the design, it should meet all the practicalities. You have to, it's a place that you're letting out. Guests are using your restaurant or your guest rooms or your corridors, or any area is being used either by your internal guests, that's your employees, or your paying guests. So you have to ensure that all basic functional practicality is followed. Comfort, cleanliness, maintenance of that place, day-to-day upkeep. It should not be that it's very difficult to clean it or maintain it. Hygiene factor, of course, is increasingly important now. All right. So these are the parameters that should be studied very well. A design may look excellent, but cleaning of the design may be next to impossible given your resources. So you have to look at all the factors before you finalize that. Decor preliminaries means the fabrics, the finishes, the color palette. All this has to be selected and finalized. It has to go with your theme, your ambience, with the city you're in. Is it a hill station? Is it a beach resort? Is it a city hotel? What are the best suited fabrics for the purpose? What are the finishes which are easy to maintain but look very elegant? What's the color palette which goes with the overall theme of the hotel? And you also have to look at durability, easy to clean, fire resistance, and all that in the material that you choose. Staffing budget, you had the budget, of course, where you looked at the expenses that you're going to spend for the refurbishment program. But here you're looking at the staffing. How much is your staffing and how will you go about it? So is it going to be led, this refurbishment program is going to be led by hotel employees or contractors, or it's like a hybrid project where it's a combination of this hotel employees and contractors. You have to make the comparison, compare apple to apple, and then decide where all you have to look at staffing. So if you have to hire a few, maybe you need to hire a few. Equipment and material inventory, sufficient supply should be ordered so that you get the best possible price, so that your budget is in control and there's a buying discipline, we call it. So there has to be this buying discipline or purchasing discipline. It's not haphazard, it's completely planned, it's phased, it's structured, and you've negotiated the best possible deal or the rate. All right, certain equipment may be hired instead of buying if you are not using it later. All right, again, when you procure stuff, you also have to look at the space for storage. So storage of material and equipment is as important as buying it. So you have to make a provision for that as well. Adjusting for the inconvenience of guests, staff, and the contractors. I know the Taj Mahal, Mumbai, when it was the unfortunate incident of it being attacked by terrorists. After that, also there were boards everywhere. Of course, it was shut down for restoration, but they did it very well. The communication to the guests is excellent. Or I remember many years before that, when the Taj Mahal took up renovation, they had beautiful hoardings in the lobby that we are undergoing a facelift to serve you better. I remember another hotel that I worked with, the swimming pool was undergoing renovation. So every guest room, of course, had a note regarding that, a tent card. And every check-in, the guest was informed about the same. And we had made arrangements in a classy upmarket club, which had a swimming pool. So every guest at the hotel's expenses was taken to the club in the hotel car with somebody to escort the guest and brought back if they wish to take a swim. So you have to make alternate arrangements to avoid inconvenience to guests. You have to communicate this to the guest. Temporary operational adjustments also. I remember once a coffee shop or an all-day diner, as we call it, was up for renovation. So we had converted a banquet hall to the breakfast buffet coffee shop. So guests have to be informed. You also have to follow discipline in that. If it's noisy work, it can be only done during the day when it's least bothersome to the guests. Procedural guidelines, all company and statutory procedures in terms of the authorities have to be adhered to or followed. So planning, permissions, fire regulations, health, hazard, safety, company policies, licensing laws, you ensure that you are not flouting any of these. You have to ensure you're following each of these guidelines. Controls, all aspects where control is needed should be strictly monitored. Financial control, purchasing, supervision on contractors, insurances, everything has to be in order. So when there's an operations team, there also has to be a check, control at every stage. Somebody is purchasing it, ordering it, what happens when it comes physically? How do you check the exact number? So all that control is very important that you do, and hence controlling is an integral part of the refurbishment program. Finally, taking over from contractors, the entire process is done. It's up to you, and now where you have employed people or contract or projects team you take over from. So this stage entails handover of the complete refurbishment project by the contractor or the project team to the housekeeping department. Here is when the detailed snagging comes in also. So snag list, as we have discussed in the earlier video, is extremely important here. It has to be prepared with great eye for detail, and absolutely any scratch, any patchwork, any chipping of surface or paint or cement or grouting, everything has to be taken into consideration. And this detailed snag list has to be prepared. Once the snag points are taken care of, again by contractor or the project team, again you have to snag it. And only after the check, complete takeover is possible and signed off by both the parties. That's the housekeeper and the contractor or the project team. So this is what the entire refurbishment program is. It's complete only when there's a sign off and takeover from the contractor. Then of course you go into this detailed spring cleaning of in-depth cleaning, and then inspections, and then finally the room is ready to be let for guests or to be sold. So this in a nutshell is, again I've put a slide of the snag list where every small point is taken care of. This is from Raghubalan as well. So this is what the entire refurbishment program looks like step by step. It's important to follow the steps right from the physical evaluation to the budgeting, to the controls, to the purchases, to the final takeover from projects team or the contractors. I would urge you all to take the quiz, the description of which is in the note below, description of the video. The link is there. So take the quiz, and thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention and your commitment to have eye for detail, to be an excellent hotelier. Thank you.